So I think HR has like never before established its credibility in the past times of COVID. I think we've come out as having well managed the pandemic, and I think we've perhaps solidified our seat at the table. However, if you see, there are some concerns as an HR leader that I have in mind. One is managing the great attrition. Today, with the great resignation, it's important that we all manage the attrition. It's important to build skills ahead of times. See, we're talking about future forward. We're talking about what is going to be the way of working, what is the future of work. And at that time, it's important for us to build capabilities to ensure that we have enough and more talent available in the organizations to fuel our growth plans. Okay, so we haven't missed anything. I think there are a couple of things that have happened. People have realigned their priorities, right? People are now taking calls on basis of multiple aspects than only comp and employee experience. Also, we must understand that our workforce is a different demographics now. You know, we have a lot of millennials in the workforce. Perhaps their aspirations are different. You know, they do not want to work for a longer time in an organization. Therefore, I think the longevity factor has come in. Also, I think as we grow, when an economy grows, we do understand that we have a lot of opportunities coming up. I think if we have our heart at the right place, if we care for our employees, if we care for them as a whole, if we care for their families, if we provide them what meets their expectation and aspiration, I think there's absolutely no worries to worry. But I think look at it from the standpoint that you have to provide a wholesome experience to the employee. That's what will make him or her stick. But coming to your question, I think we haven't missed anything. It's changing times. They say change is the only constant. So I think it's important that we also change as an industry with the times to come. What we should do immediately is to understand what an employee aspires for, match aspirations with opportunities. Well, leadership development is effective when you have future-ready leaders. Why do we do leadership development? We do leadership development to ensure that there are enough and more leaders to fuel the company's growth plans, right? That's the reason we do it. Now, and therefore, one of the matrices is build versus buy, right? When you're growing, when you're scaling up businesses, and when you have to have leaders that are required to run the business, and when you actually have them in the company, that's an effective leadership development. You've readied leaders before your actual deployment. And that's perhaps just-in-time leadership development. Also, it's important to understand what are you developing leaders on. Are you developing them for your business or for the industry so that people can come and poach them and take them away? No. You need leaders to enable your organization meet its objectives. And therefore, leadership development effectiveness is when the business asks you for ready talent, ready leaders. You have enough and more of them. So leaders will have shelf life, which means that you can't say I have 20 leaders ready and they're ready for 50 years or 15 years or 10 years, right? You have to continuously develop leaders. And therefore, I think it's the leadership factory that you have to manage. You have to ensure that you anticipate growth plans, you anticipate the future skills, you anticipate critical competencies and capabilities, and you develop them. Leaders are also at all levels, right? You have to ensure that your leadership development programs cover the entire workforce, which means that you cannot only say that I have only top-level leaders. You have to have leaders to take any and every challenge at various aspects of the workforce. Now, one of the important challenges in leadership development is that we still tend to focus on education institutions. How many of our leadership development programs across the industries actually give a leader a chance to run a business very early in their career? How many of them, give shadowing opportunities? How many of them, ensure that leaders are picked up and identified right early on and deployed? Leadership development happens when you reach a certain level in the hierarchy. I think that needs to change. You have to develop leaders right from the beginning, pick up those that are bright ones and develop them and give them opportunities. So one of the success matrices of leadership development is deployable leadership talent. I think that's important.